ओम हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। ओम भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः, भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः, स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः, स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः, स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः, स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम सहना भवतु, सहनौ भुनक्तु, सह वीर्यं करवावहै, तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणम् सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। निधये सर्वविद्यानां विशजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम तपोभिः क्षीणपापानां शान्तानां वीतरागिणां मुमुक्षूणामपेक्षोऽयम् आत्मबोधो विधीयते। मंत्र नंबर 70। सदा सर्वगतोऽप्यात्मा, सदा सर्वगतोऽप्यात्मा, न सर्वत्रावभासते, न सर्वत्रावभासते, बुद्धावेवावभासेत, बुद्धावेवावभासेत, स्वच्छेषु प्रतिबिम्बवत्, स्वच्छेषु प्रतिबिम्बवत्। Adi Shankaracharya very clearly mentioned युक्ति अवघाततः पंचकोशादि विलक्षणम। You the self is totally separate, so totally distinct from this panchakosha, and it is all over, sarvavyapi. So as I mentioned earlier, there are two prakriya, two methodologies are there to explain the self. One is called avacchinnavadaha, other is called pratibimbavadaha. Avacchinnavadaha means, as we have seen the example of the Ghatakasha and Mahakasha. So it looks like Akasha is being limited, Avachinna is limited by the pot wall. Similarly, here also the self looks like limited by this body. I am in this body, outside I don't see that me. Though I can see this book, I don't take book as me, understand? And therefore, it is being as though it is being limited. So, by this Avachinavada also, we can understand that though it looks like that space is being limited by the pot, but the reality is that space is not in the pot is in the space. Similarly, consciousness is not in this body is in consciousness. Because of the consciousness, this body looks conscious. Understand? So it's called Avachinnavada. Now, Shankaracharya takes up the another vada called Pratibimba Vada. Pratibimba means reflection. So, in this verse, 17th verse, we already clearly saw that the consciousness is all pervasive. If consciousness is all pervasive, how come I don't see consciousness? When I see the wave, I see the water. When I see the pot, I see the clay. Similarly, if I am all pervasive, then I should see it everywhere. And therefore, there is a question, why I can't see it? So, Sada Sarvagataha Pi Atmana Sarvatra Avabhasate. Look at the first line of the verse. Though Sarvagataha Pi Atma Sada. All the time, the self is all pervasive. Sarvagataha. Still, na sarvatra avabhasate. It is not seen, it is not available everywhere. I don't see Atma everywhere. Na avabhasate. It doesn't shine, it doesn't illumines, it is not available everywhere. So what is the reason? If Atma is everywhere, I should have that. So Shankaracharya says, Buddhau eva avabhasate swacheshu buddhau. In Kathopanishad, Yamaraja says the same thing. Esha sarveshu bhuteshu ghudhatmana prakashate. Though this self is everywhere, every object, it is available in every object, still na prakashate. It doesn't shine there. It's not available. Understand? So what is the reason? So here we have to understand very clearly. Any knowledge takes place in buddhi. Whether it is a knowledge of the self or knowledge of the object. The instrument to gain the knowledge is buddhi. And therefore, to understand the self also, buddhi is required. In 6th chapter also, Bhagavan says the same thing. Atindriya buddhigrahyam. Though it is beyond the senses, it is not available within the realm of these senses. Still, buddhigrahyam, through your intellect, you can understand the self. See, therefore, we don't need to go beyond the mind. Understand, all this is nonsense. Because manasa eva idam aptavyam. You have to understand the self through the mind, through the buddhi only. Because in the buddhi only the knowledge takes place. And if I want to gain Brahmagnanam, that knowledge also is going to take place in the buddhi only. But why do we say in buddhi? Understand? Because buddhi is what? We already saw. The Sukshma Sharira, which is the Pancha Prana, Pancha Gnanendriya, Pancha Karmendriya, Manaha and Buddhi. The 17 parts of the Sukshma Sharira are being created from the subtle elements. Tanmatra we call. So, the 5 subtle elements, so that subtle elements is called Satvika Panchamahabhuta. So Satvik Panch Mahabhuta, the mind and Gnanendriyas are created. So if it is created from the Satvik elements, what is the nature of the Satvik? Sattva Sanjayate, Gnanam. So Buddhi by nature is Satvik because it is made up of the Satvik 5 elements. See, therefore, we don't need to make mind Satvik. Mind by nature is Satvik. But because of the Rajoguna and Tamoguna, it looks as though mind is Rajasic and Tamas. Understand? So, the Satvik Buddhi only can understand the self. Just Shankaracharya ji always tells that by bhakti, by karma yoga, by attitude towards our actions and the result of the action. Just Swamini used two words for that. With reference to the action, we should have the Ishwararpana Buddhi. We always offer all our actions to the Lord. After every puja, we do this thing. Kayena vacha manasendriyarva buddhyatmanava prakrute swabhavat karomi yadyat sakalam parasmai narayanayeti samarpayami. So it's called Ishwararpana Buddhi. Whenever we are performing an action, we should have this attitude of offering this action to the Lord. When we receive the result of the action, the Lord is the one who is the giver of this result of the action, and therefore we have to develop the Prasad Buddhi. What is a Prasad Buddhi? Prasad Buddhi means cheerful acceptance. Whatever result we are receiving, we don't have any resistance, non-acceptance for that. Called Prasad Buddhi. So when, with reference to the action, we have Ishwararpana Buddhi. With reference to the Karma Phala, when we have a Prasad Buddhi. Understand? Then the third thing is, we don't have any attachment towards the world or the enjoyment of the world, called Vairagya. So when these attitudes are there, when this Vairagya is there in the Buddhi, it makes Buddhi very clean, clear. So Shankaracharya very often he used this word, that Sattva Shuddhi. There should be a purification of the Sattva. The mind is made up of the Sattvic elements. That's why mind also is called Sattva. Through the purification of the mind, Chitta Shuddhi Dwarena, when we have a pure mind, Sattvic mind, then only this knowledge takes place in the Buddhi. Now, the question is, how do I know my mind is pure or not? How can I say that mind is pure? That's why I said these three things. Ishwararpana Buddhi, Prasada Buddhi, and Vairagya. When we develop these attitudes, when we develop the Vairagya, then the mind is pure. Same thing Bhagavan said in Gita also. Yada buddhi, when buddhi vyatitarashyati kalusham, all impurities are being crossed in the buddhi. Tadagantasi nirvedam, then there is a vairagya in the buddhi. Once that vairagya is there, then buddhi established into the self. So, Shankaracharya says that knowledge has to be taken in the buddhi only, but what kind of the buddhi? Swacheshu buddhau. How? Pratibimbavata. He gives example. As there is a water in the bucket, in the any vessel, if the water is pure, clean, then there is a reflection of the sun in the water. But if the water is yellow, water is red, then the reflection of the sun will be red. If the water is green, the reflection of the sun looks green. Understand? Therefore, as the reflection of the sun can be seen in the water, clean water, similarly, the reflection of the self can be seen in the pure buddhi. Swacheshu buddhau. See, Vedanta is not really difficult. What is difficult is the preparation for the knowledge. To develop the prasad buddhi is not that easy. Because we go through a lot of experiences in our life, day-to-day life. Certain experiences are that which we have conducive for us, we desired for us. But certain experiences are there in the life which we don't desire. There are so many adversities we go through in our life. And therefore, I always tell my students, we are all 50% karma yogi. When everything is according to my wish, I have a lot of Ishwara from Buddhi, Prasad Buddhi, Bhakti, everything is there. When something which happens which I don't like, which I don't desire, which is adverse for me, then to have a Prasad Buddhi is very difficult. And therefore, Pujya Swamini used to tell, Karma Yoga is a lifetime job. It's not that easy. To develop Prasad Buddhi means what? Whatever result comes, can we accept that cheerfully? Cheerful acceptance. There is no direct, translation for the Prasad word. And therefore, this pure buddhi, only through Prasad buddhi we can get it. But when everything is pink and purple, we are all bhaktas. We all follow dharma. But something goes wrong in our life, if it takes a lot of courage for us to go with dharma, to go with the result of the action. Understand? And therefore, pure buddhi means what? I always tell people, pure buddhi means the buddhi which never forces you to transgress dharma. Never force you to do any adharma. Understand? When the dharma becomes very spontaneous for you, you don't see any need to transgress dharma. That is called pure buddhi. Very difficult. And therefore, all this Ramayana, Mahabharata, adverse situations are described in detail. Because we can see in this adversity what they are thinking, how they are acting. And therefore, there is no desire, there is no need for me to transgress dharma. I don't need to tell lie. I don't need to cheat somebody. I don't need to hit. I don't need to hurt somebody. It's beautiful mind. Just imagine that we don't see any need in our mind to hurt somebody, to cheat somebody. It's so pure mind. And pure mind means where there is no adharma. There is no need for adharma. Most difficult thing in this world is this only, that to follow dharma. See, Lord Rama, we already are experiencing this. Beautiful Ram Mandir is there. Beautiful Ram idol is there. Now, Pran Pratishtha is done. Lord Ram, Balaka Rama is there. Ram presents dharma. Therefore, Vigrahavan Dharmaha Rama. If dharma takes the form, it is called Lord Ram. And to follow that dharma. Therefore, in the beginning I said, bhakti also is required. Besides this vairagya, bhakti is required. Bhakti means you surrender to the Lord. In Hindi, there is a nice bhajan. Jahi bidhi rakhe Ram, tahi bidhi rakhiye. Lord Rama, in whatever condition he keeps me, I am happy in that. So, Swacheshu Buddha, that pure buddhi is required. Once the buddhi is pure, see, once takes long time, understand. We see a lot of people are performing lot of austerities in their life. Just now, there was a video, one Mataji is there. That Mataji, even in the winter, she lives in Gangotri only. She doesn't leave that place. She lives there. She keeps all the requirements ready before snow starts. And she lives happily there. It's great tapasya. Understand? There is no heating system there is no light. There is no electricity. When another sadhu is there, he lives in the gufa. Under the stone, this huge stone is there and there is a cave is there. And they have only daylight. The winter daylight time is what? 8 hours, 10 hours. The rest of the time, they live in the darkness. They live with the lamp. So, all these different tapasyaryas are there. So, the different people are performing different types of the tapasya, austerity. But what is the greatest tapasya? I always tell, the greatest tapasya is, in any situation, do you have the cheerful mind? I don't want you to laugh in the adversity, but be pleasant. Don't regret for anything. Don't complain for anything. Don't resist for anything. No resistance, no non-acceptance. Understand? No regressions. No murmuring. Be happy. To have this cheerful mind is the greatest austerity. Because there are certain things are there. Certain people are there in our life, always ready to hurt us, always ready to blame us, always ready to say some comments on us. And therefore, to have a pure mind means you have to follow dharma. Without a dharma, there is no pure mind. There is no quiet mind. cheerful mind. And therefore, here simply Shankaracharya says that you can have the knowledge of the self in the pure buddhi, but that purity of the buddhi, we have to see how we can get this pure buddhi. Karma yoga, bhakti. Bhakti means surrender. Once you surrender to the Lord, you are ready to accept any situation. I will tell you what is this cheerful mind or what is this surrender. Here, there are three contemporary bhaktas were there. One is in Gujarat, Narsi Mehta, whose bhajan is very popular. Vaishnava Janato Tenere Kahiye, very popular bhajan. Then there was a Tukaram in Maharashtra and Namdev, Bhakta Namdev in Maharashtra. These three bhaktas contemporary. Samakalin in Sanskrit. All three had different situations in their life. Narsi Mehta's wife died because of some disease. Then he said, "Oh God, thank you. Now I don't have anybody to take care of. And so happily I can worship you." In Gujarati, there is a nice sentence is there. Balu thayo bhangi janjar sukhe bajishu Shri Gopal. Namdev's wife was very conducive, very loving wife. And she was also devotee of Lord Krishna. So Namdev always thanked Bhagwan that Bhagwan, you have given me such a beautiful wife, such a cooperative wife. So we both together are worshipping you. So I'm very thankful to you, Bhagwan, that you have given me this wife. Narsi Mehta was thankful that wife died. Understand? This Tukaram wife was very, very quarrelsome. And for so no reason she will find out the reason to fight, to quarrel. Extremely quarrelsome wife. Still, Tukaram was telling Bhagwan, "Oh Bhagwan, I'm very thankful to you to give me this kind of the wife, so my mind doesn't go to her, always with you only." Look at this. That means what? Any situation is conducive for devotion, understand? Not particular time, particular place, particular situation. How you face the situation. Therefore, this bhakti is important for us. Bhakti only gives you courage to stand, to withstand, to face the situation in the life. I always tell people, lot of Vedantis, they bypass this bhakti. They think, "Oh, we are all Vedantis. We don't need this bhakti." No. Bhagwan Swayam, Bhagwan himself is telling in Gita. So bhakti gives us the courage to accept the situation. I'm sure all over India there are certain bhaktas are there. I don't know the Andhra Pradesh or Tamil Nadu or Karnataka. I'm sure a lot of bhaktas were there. They went through all kinds of the situations in their life. But they never complained. They never run away from this. They never transgress dharma. And there is there is a Lord Vithala and Rukmini, Pandharpur in Maharashtra. This beautiful temple of Lord Vishnu called Vithala. Lord Vishnu is called Vithala and wife Rukmini is there, Pandharpur. Now, why Bhagavan is called Vithala? because the devotee was there. All the time he was chanting Bhagwan's name. So one day Bhagwan Narayana decided to give darshanam to this bhakta. So he went to his door. That time, this bhakta was serving his old parents, giving bath to them. So Lord Narayana called him, "Oh devotee, I am at your door." He didn't have much in his house. So he had one brick, small brick was there. See, whenever somebody comes to our home, we offer a seat to the person. Asanam, what we call. Now, he didn't have anything. So he saw there is a brick is there. So he just threw that brick and tell Bhagwan, you wait here, sit here on the brick and wait for me. I'm taking care of my parents. Once I am done, I will come to you. So Bhagwan was standing on this brick in Maharashtra language, Marathi. The brick is called Vit. And Bhagwan was standing on this Vit, and that's why Bhagwan is called Vithala. That is called devotion. You trust Bhagwan. Pujya Swamini's book is there. All of you should read. Bringing Ishvara in one's life. In other words, do we experience the presence of Ishvara in our life or not? In Sanskrit, it's called Ishvara Sannidhanam. Lord is always with me. That kind of the Shraddha, that kind of the Vishwas, not faith, don't use the word faith. So that we have to experience that Ishvara is always with me. Then our mind is very quiet, pure. So through bhakti also we gain this pure buddhi. The question is, what is the quality of the pure buddhi? There are three qualities are there for checking whether buddhi is pure or not. Number one, it develops dispassion, vairagya for the worldly object. Vairagya, dispassion is the first sign of pure buddhi. Second sign is you develop more and more bhakti, devotion, more and more surrender, sharanagati towards Ishvara. Third is your mind is very quiet. In any situation, it doesn't get disturbed. Very quiet mind. Shantaha. Vairagya, drada bhakti, shanti. More and more vairagyas are there, more and more bhaktis is there. Mind is very quiet. That is called Swachha Buddhi, pure intellect. Once you have this pure intellect, knowledge doesn't take much time. Shrotavyasya shrutasya cha nirvedam. Once you develop this vairagya, ashu buddhi paryavatishta, then knowledge is not that difficult. Once your mind is pure, knowledge is very easy. Therefore, Bhagavan is saying thing. It doesn't mean that you stop seeing this world. Doesn't mean you stop transiting in this world. Doesn't mean you go to Himalaya. That's why in the beginning only I said, don't think about the special day or special place or special situation. That's not bhakti. That's not surrender. Any situation, we experience the presence of Ishvara in our life. There is a small story called Two Steps of Lord. There is a businessman. He went through a lot of ups and downs in his life. Lot of hardship in his life. But finally, his business was settled. Then his family was settled. His children were there. They were grown. And this businessman decided to retire. So he told his son, now you take care of this business. You build small house for me at the ocean shore. He likes to be there. Beach. So his son developed nice beach house for him and provided one couple there to take care of father. His wife died and he didn't want to get involved in this family thing. So he was living there with this couple. This couple were taking care of house and cooking and everything. And he was happily living there. So morning, evening, he used to take walk on the beach. So one day as he was walking, suddenly he started thinking about his life, how his childhood, how was his education, how was his business, what are ups and downs were there. So as he was seeing this whole life of himself, he saw there are 4 footsteps were there. 2 of him and 2 of the Lord. And then there was a period when he was losing his business, he was losing his finance, and he went through the difficulties in his life. Then suddenly he noticed that there were only 2 steps were there. Then again he developed the business, and again 4 steps started. So very spontaneously he suddenly said, "Oh Lord, in difficult time only you left me." And very spontaneously says, "Oh Lord, you left me in difficult time." So that time the Lord said, no, these 2 steps are my steps. During your difficulty time, I carried you on my shoulder. Understand? I never left you. I was always with you. Same vision. That Sharanagati, that surrender. Pujya Swamini used to tell, non-complaining mind, non-blaming mind. No blaming, no complaint, no resistance. Once we develop that mind, that buddhi, where there is no resistance, no complaint, no regressions, that is called Swachha Buddhi. And once you have this Swachha Buddhi, avabhasate, understand, you are going to have a knowledge of the self. It's very easy. So, as in the pure, clean mirror, we can have the reflection. Similarly, when our buddhi is what? Raga, dvesha, dosha, rahitayam buddho. But how will you get this? Chirakal anusthita shravanadi sanskrutantakarana. Chirakal, long time. Not one day. Long period of time we develop this attitude of listening to the Shastra, bhakti. All this sanskara has to be there in our heart. Then what happens? Akhanda ekarasam param brahma avirbhavati. As I mentioned in Kathopanishad, the Paramatma is everywhere. Eshu sarveshu bhuteshu. But when we say drishyate tu agra buddhya sukshmaya sukshmadarshibhihi, when our buddhi is very subtle buddhi, pure buddhi, sharp buddhi, then we can have the knowledge of the self. And therefore, we need to develop this attitude, this buddhi. But it is one, it's not one day job. Niskama anusthana samprapta shuddha buddhehe shravanadi janya gnanam tatphalam moksham cha siddhyati. This commentator is telling that by performing the actions without any particular results in our life, nishkam buddhi. We already saw in Swadharme Nidhanam se, performing one's duty. Kartavya buddhi is the best way to gain the pure. And therefore, by that you purify your buddhi and then you listen to the Shastra, knowledge takes place. And then you get the result of the knowledge, moksha also you can gain. But if there is impurities in the buddhi, knowledge doesn't take place. Therefore, Shankaracharya very clearly is mentioning that this is how we have to have very pure mind. All Upanishad, if you see, whether it is the Kathopanishad or Chandogya Upanishad or Prashna Upanishad or Bhagavad Gita, same messages are there. That in Kathopanishad, Yamaraja is using one word called Sada Shuchi. Ever pure. Look at this. Then why this Sada Shuchi? Because in our personality, there are different facets of our personalities. In every facet, there should be the purity. Understand this. Our action also should be pure, dharma, satkarma. It is called satkarma. Our body also should be pure, clean. Our attitude also should be pure, sadbhavana. So, in action, satkarmas is there. In our body also, pavitrata, sacredness. And our bhavana also, sadbhavana. Then sadbuddhi. Thinking also should be pure thinking. So in every aspect of our personality, even when we say sadvachana, when we say a word, there should be not any harsh word, hurting words. Therefore, in every aspect of our personality, there should be purity. There should be dharma. Then we develop that buddhi where knowledge can take place. Now, what is this knowledge? How do I know? I know Ishvara. I know that I am the Brahman. What is that knowledge? What is the swarupa of the knowledge? So, in next verse, 18th verse, so 18th verse, Shankaracharya is telling what is that knowledge is. So, we'll read the 18th. देहेन्द्रिय मनोबुद्धि प्रकृतिभ्यो विलक्षणं देहेन्द्रिय मनोबुद्धि प्रकृतिभ्यो विलक्षणं तद्वृत्ति साक्षिणं विद्यात् आत्मानं राजवत्सदा आत्मानं राजवत्सदा. What is this knowledge? First thing is what? देह इंद्रिय मनोबुद्धि प्रकृतिभ्यः विलक्षण. Atma is other than this body. Indriya, other than Indriya, other than mind, other than buddhi. Understand? Distinct from this body, mind, sense complex. Not only that, it is distinct, it is different of Prakruti. Prakruti means Maya, we already saw. It is not tainted by the qualities of the mind or the senses or the mind or the intellect or the Maya. Tadvrutti Sakshidam Vidya. Look at this. Who is Atma? Vidya Sakshinam. You are the Sakshi, the witness consciousness of all this. You are the one who is a witness consciousness, Sakshi. Tadvrutti Sakshi. Vritti means activities. Whether it is activity of the body, activity of the Indriyas, activities of the mind, activities of the intellect, or the activities of the Prakruti, Maya. You are Sakshi, witness. Deha, Indriya, Manobuddhi, Prakriti. So you are witness consciousness. What is witness consciousness? What is Sakshi? There are three things are there in Sakshi. First is Sakshi is Asanga. It is not tainted by any of this Upadhi. Asanga, unattached. I see the body and I see what is going on in the body. I see the senses, I see what's going on in the sense. I see the mind, I see what's going on in the mind. There are different types of the vrittis are there in the mind. I am the witness conscious. Prakasham cha pravrittim cha mohameva cha pa. There are three types of the vrittis are there. Thoughts are there in the mind. Satvika prakasham, rajasika pravritti, tamasika moha. Sometimes mind is very bright, sometimes mind is very dull, sometimes mind is sattvic, sometimes mind is tamasic. I am what? Asanga Chaitanya. I am not tainted by this guna of this mind. Asanga Sakshi. Buddhi, knowledge is there, ignorance is there. It's okay. I know, it's fine. I don't know, it's fine. I remember, it's fine. I don't remember, it's fine. I understand, it's fine. I don't understand, Sakshi Chaitanya. Asanga. You are Asanga Chaitanya, unattached. Nothing touches you. Nothing can taint you. That's a consciousness, Chaitanya. Sakshi, another meaning of Sakshi is one who illumines everything. Nice Manisha Panchakam, Shankaracharya gives nice example of the sunlight. The sunlight is illumining the water of Ganga. The sunlight is illumining the gutter water, dirty water. What happens to sunlight? Because sunlight is illumining the Ganga water, it is pure, it is purified. Because sunlight is illumining the dirty water, becomes dirty. It illumines everything. Krodhakar vritti is there in the mind, it illumines. Shanta vritti is in the mind, it illumines. Parta vritti is there, it illumines. It's not opposite to anything. Sakshi Chaitanya. It illumines everything. Not opposing anything. Anumanda it's called. Anumanda means it gives permission to everything. Doesn't oppose anything. Sakshi Chaitanya. Whatever is there. Angry mind, illumined by the consciousness. Quiet mind, illumined by the bright mind, illumined by consciousness. It lends the existence to everything. Sakshi Chaitanya. Third is witness consciousness means it doesn't need anything, it doesn't depend on anything. Light is there, fine. Light is not there, fine. Independence, Swatantra. It is called Swatantra. Asangaha, Prakashaha. Very beautiful. We need to see this. You are witness consciousness. Means you are Asanga, not tainted by anything. Shanta. Never perturbed by anything. Tadvrutti sakshinam vidyat. That is Atma. You are Sakshi. Whatever is going on outside or in the body or in the mind or in the intellect, you are Asanga, untouched. You are illuminating everything. And you are independent of everything. Understand? Sakshi means these three things we have to remember. It illumines everything. It is not touched. It is Swatantra. Vrittis are depending on you, but you are not depending on particular vritti. Body depends on you. You are not depending on the body. You lend existence to this body. Body doesn't lend existence. Swatantra Sakshi. Swaprakasha Sakshi. Asanga Sakshi. Asangoham, asangoham, asangoham. So Shankaracharya says, this is how you have to see yourself. Atmanam vidyat. May you know the self as Sakshi. How? Rajavat sada. So Sankaracharya gives the example of the king, Rajavat. King is what? Whole kingdom, all it is run by his ministers. He illumines everything. In his presence, everything is happening. At the same time, king is independent of all this. Rajavata, you are the king. You are Sakshi Chaitanya, means you are the king. All these things are depending on you. You don't depend on anything. You are illumining all of them. You don't need any light from anybody. And you are unattached to it. Rajavat Sada. Beautiful. Just think about yourself. When you go to sleep, just think about it. I am Sakshi Chaitanya. I am independent. I am not touched by anything. Understand? That's how you have to contemplate on the self. You have to see this clearly. You are Sakshi Chaitanya. And therefore, Vidyat means may you know the self as Sakshi Chaitanya. And once you understand this Sakshi Chaitanya, it's beautiful. Nothing can touch you. Whatever is to be done, you do. Any adversity is there, whatever steps you have to take, you take those steps. Face the situation. We don't need to run away of the situation. Why? Swatantraha. You're independent. You're not depending on anything. Everything is depending on you. Swatantra. That's why there is one book called Swarajya Siddhi. Swarajya means what? Emperor. You are the emperor. That emperorship you have to do. And therefore, may you know the self as Sakshi Chaitanya. So, next Monday, we'll start our classes again. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrutyorma Amrutangamaya Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Hari
Hari Om.
Hari Om Amma.
Hari Om, Swami.
I'm really enjoying teaching all of you.
Hari Om, Swamini.
Om Swamini. Hari Om.
Hari Om, Swamini.
Hari Om.
Thank you very much.